The spotlight finds her in the crowd, and Beyoncé's hand extends toward a woman whose face is already wet with tears. The woman's legs barely support her as security guides her toward the stage, and when she finally reaches the top of the stairs, something shifts in Beyoncé's expression. Her professional smile falters. Her eyes widen. The microphone in her hand drops slightly as recognition floods her features like a wave she wasn't prepared for. 70,000 people hold their breath in the stadium, sensing they're about to witness something unrehearsed, something real. If you want to see more incredible moments where emotions break through the performance, subscribe and hit the bell, because stories like this remind us why live music matters. This is the night Beyoncé invited a fan on stage and discovered she was staring into the eyes of the woman who changed her life decades ago. It's August 12, 2023, at SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. The Renaissance World Tour has been breaking records across the country, but tonight feels different even before the unexpected moment. The energy in the stadium is electric, almost sacred. Fans have traveled from across the world, some spending their savings just to be here. The production is massive, a circular stage surrounded by screens that tower 3 stories high, lasers cutting through manufactured fog, a live band tucked behind mirrored panels. Beyoncé is 50 minutes into her set, having just finished a medley that transitions from her early Destiny's Child era into her solo empire. She's wearing a custom silver bodysuit that catches every light in the arena, making her look like a moving constellation. Her dancers have cleared the stage for what's supposed to be an intimate moment, a tradition on this tour where she brings someone from the audience on stage during Love on Top. The song is a celebration, an invitation to joy. The crew knows the drill. Security has already pre-selected a few enthusiastic fans in case Beyoncé points to the crowd, but she doesn't point to any of the pre-selected guests. Instead, her eyes land on a woman in section 114, row 8, seat 12. The woman is in her early 60s, black, wearing a simple purple blouse and jeans. Her name is Diana Williamson, though Beyoncé doesn't know that yet. She's here with her daughter and 2 grandchildren, a birthday gift they surprised her with 3 months ago. Diana has been a teacher for 38 years, most of them spent at Parker Elementary School in Houston's 3rd Ward. She taught 2nd grade for decades, and though she's retired now, she still volunteers as a literacy tutor twice a week. When Beyoncé's hand points directly at her, Diana's first instinct is to look behind her. Her daughter is screaming, pushing her forward. Security is already moving down the aisle. Diana's hands are shaking so badly she can barely climb the steps. She's not thinking about anything except not falling, not embarrassing herself in front of 70,000 strangers. When she reaches the top, a member of Beyoncé's team gently guides her toward center stage, where Beyoncé is waiting with a microphone and that signature smile that has calmed 1,000 nervous fans before. But this time the smile disappears. Beyoncé takes 3 steps closer, and her whole body language changes. Her shoulders drop. Her head tilts as if she's trying to solve a puzzle in real time. She brings the microphone up slowly, and her voice when it comes is smaller than anyone in the stadium has heard all night. Wait a minute. The music keeps playing, but the band director catches the confusion and signals a slow fade. Beyoncé is staring at Diana with an intensity that makes the audience uncomfortable because it's too intimate for this space. Ms. Williamson? She says the name like a question, like a prayer, like she's afraid the answer might shatter something fragile. Diana's face registers shock, then recognition, then something that looks like disbelief. Her mouth opens, but no sound comes out. Beyoncé's eyes fill immediately, and the tears start before she can stop them. She drops the microphone hand to her side and just says, "Oh my God," twice, barely audible. The stadium erupts in confused applause because they don't understand what's happening, but they know it's significant. Beyoncé was 7 years old when she first walked into Ms. Williamson's 2nd grade classroom at Parker Elementary. It was 1988. She was shy then, believe it or not, a small girl with braids and gaps in her teeth who loved to sing, but mostly into her bedroom mirror. Ms. Williamson taught language arts and music appreciation, and she had a reputation among parents as the teacher who saw things in kids that others missed. She kept a keyboard in the corner of her classroom and let students play during free time. Beyoncé would finish her work early, just to get to that keyboard. Ms. Williamson noticed. She noticed the way this particular little girl's face changed when she sang, how her posture straightened, how the shyness evaporated. After class one day, Miss Williamson pulled Beyoncé's mother aside and said something that Tina Knowles would repeat to reporters years later. "Your daughter has something rare. Don't let the world talk her out of it." Ms. Williamson started letting Beyoncé lead songs during morning circle time. She created small performance moments in class projects, always making sure Beyoncé had a featured part. When the school needed someone to sing at the spring assembly, Ms. Williamson nominated Beyoncé before anyone else could. She advocated for resources for the music program. She wrote letters of recommendation when Beyoncé auditioned for performing arts programs later. She did all of this quietly, without fanfare, because that's what teachers do. They plant seeds and rarely see the harvest. On the stage at SoFi, Beyoncé is trying to speak, but emotions keep interrupting her sentences. She wipes her face with the back of her hand, smearing glitter across her cheek. This is Ms. Williamson," she finally manages to tell the audience, her voice thick and unsteady. "She was my second-grade teacher." The crowd's reaction shifts from confused applause to something deeper, a collective intake of breath. People start pulling out phones not to record a celebrity moment, but to document something sacred. Beyoncé turns back to Diana, who is openly sobbing now, and says, "You told me I could sing. You told me I was special when I didn't believe it yet." Diana shakes her head like she wants to deflect the credit, but Beyoncé won't let her. "No, you don't understand. You saw me. When I was just a little girl who was scared of everything, you saw me." Diana reaches out and takes Beyoncé's free hand, and that small gesture breaks whatever professional composure Beyoncé had left. She pulls Diana into a hug that lasts long enough for the entire stadium to start crying with them. The moment stretches, suspended in time. The band doesn't know whether to play. The backup dancers stand frozen at the edge of the stage, several of them wiping their own eyes. In the control booth, the director is making frantic hand signals, but even he seems reluctant to interrupt. The cameras zoom in, broadcasting this unplanned intimacy to the giant screens surrounding the stage. In section 327, a group of college students who came to party find themselves unexpectedly moved. In the VIP boxes, celebrities pull out their phones. On social media, clips of the moment are already spreading, raw and unedited. This is the currency of live performance, the unrepeatable, the genuine, the moment when the machinery of spectacle stops and something human breaks through. When they finally separate, Beyoncé is still holding Diana's hand. She brings the microphone back up and addresses the crowd with a vulnerability that's rare even for her. "I don't talk about this a lot, but when I was young, I almost gave up on singing. I thought I wasn't good enough. I thought other kids were better." Her voice steadies as she talks, finding its power again. "And this woman right here, Ms. Williamson, she kept me after class one day, and she told me that my voice was a gift. She said I had a responsibility to share it. I was 7 years old, and she saw something in me I couldn't see in myself." Diana is nodding, tears streaming down her face, her lips forming words that no one can hear. Beyoncé turns to her directly now, speaking to Diana instead of the audience. "You changed my life. Everything I've done, every stage I've stood on, you're part of that. I've never forgotten you." The stadium erupts again, but this applause is different, slower, reverent, punctuated with whistles and shouts of affirmation. Beyoncé makes a decision in real time. "We're going to sing together," she announces to the crowd. "Ms. Williamson and I are going to sing this next song together like we used to do in her classroom." Diana starts to protest, shaking her head, but Beyoncé is already cueing the band. The opening notes of Love on Top fill the arena. It's a song about joy, about celebrating love, about reaching higher. Beyoncé puts her arm around Diana's shoulders and holds the microphone between them. Diana's voice is thin at first, overwhelmed, but Beyoncé keeps encouraging her, nodding, smiling, and slowly, Diana's voice strengthens. She's not a professional singer, she never was, but she can carry a tune and, more importantly, she understands the heart of the song. When they reach the first key change, Beyoncé steps back slightly and lets Diana take a line solo. The crowd goes absolutely wild. Diana laughs through her tears, shocked at herself, and Beyoncé beams at her like a proud student showing her teacher what she learned. They finish the song together, voices blending imperfectly and beautifully, and when the final note rings out, the standing ovation lasts 4 full minutes. The impact ripples outward immediately. By the time Beyoncé finishes her set 90 minutes later, video clips of the moment have been viewed 18 million times across platforms. News outlets pick up the story within hours. Teachers across the country start sharing their own stories about students they believed in, students who went on to do extraordinary things. Diana Williamson's phone doesn't stop ringing for 3 days. Interview requests flood in from morning shows, podcasts, magazines. She turns most of them down, uncomfortable with the attention, but she does agree to one interview with a local Houston news station. When asked what it was like to be recognized by one of the biggest stars in the world, she says something simple and profound. "I didn't do anything special. I just loved my students, and I told them the truth about who they were. Every teacher does that. We just don't usually get to see how it turns out." Within a week, donations to Parker Elementary School's music program exceed $600,000. A scholarship fund is established in Diana's name for students pursuing performing arts. Beyoncé's team reaches out privately and arranges for Diana and her family to attend 3 more shows on the tour, all expenses paid, with backstage access. But perhaps the most significant impact is harder to measure. How many teachers watched that video and felt seen? How many students looked at their own teachers differently? How many people were reminded that influence doesn't always look like fame or money, that sometimes the most important work happens in small classrooms with worn-out keyboards, and teachers who see potential where others see ordinariness? 3 months after the SoFi show, Beyoncé gives an interview where she's asked about the most memorable moment of the Renaissance tour. Without hesitation, she talks about Diana. "I've performed for presidents, I've headlined festivals for hundreds of thousands of people. I've won awards and broken records, but nothing will ever compare to looking into the face of the woman who believed in me when I was 7 years old. That's the moment that mattered. That's the moment that reminded me why I do this." She pauses, choosing her words carefully. "We talk about legacy like it's something you build for yourself, but real legacy is what you plant in other people. Ms. Williamson planted something in me, and she probably doesn't even remember half the things she said or did. But I remember. I'll always remember. And now the whole world knows her name." The interview ends, but the sentiment lingers. In a culture obsessed with individual achievement and self-made success, this story offers a different narrative, that we are all shaped by people who chose to see us, to believe in us, to tell us the truth about our potential when we couldn't see it ourselves. What moments shaped who you are today, and have you told those people what they meant to you? If this story moved you, share it with a teacher who changed your life, and don't forget to subscribe because we're going to keep bringing you stories that remind us what really matters.